I am not getting caught slipping. I'm not going to be one of those dads that get beat up by their sons and now I can't even walk through my own house without getting disrespected. Welcome to the Personal Development Blueprint, the podcast that's all about leveling up and helping you become the best version of yourself. I'm your host, Jay Cope. Join me as we talk about different tools and strategies to help you navigate through everyday life, creating a blueprint for your personal growth. Let's get into it. What is up, Blueprint crew? Welcome back, my ladies and my fellas. Thank y'all for tapping back in with me today. And today, y'all, we're going to learn how to build some self-discipline and resist temptation so that we can build that 2.0 version of ourselves and reach our long-term goals. So we got 3 areas that we're going to dive in today. So first, we're going to give a little bit of background about habits. It's something that this is something that we all heard about before, habits, right? And then I want to talk about something called keystone habits. And then last, we're going to talk about the power of your why and how important it is to reaching those long-term goals. And we cannot forget about the bonus tip for those who stick around to the end. Something that I realized about this journey that I'm on, I realized that when you do things the hard way, life becomes a lot easier. So the choice to start making healthier eating habits, the choice to work on your craft and go after your dreams instead of following the trends just because they seem cool. The choice to fight when things get tough and you just feel like giving up. We all had those days. Self-discipline is the key to helping you make those hard decisions, instead of sticking to the habits that's just easy and comfortable. A lot of people, include myself, I get caught up in this too, and I still have to readjust myself. Like they get caught up in the instant gratification, the things that are safe and simple and downright comfortable. When you go after those type of things, you have a hard time reaching long-term goals. So how do we build self-discipline in our life? How do we say no to short-term benefits, so to speak, so that we can reach our long-term goals? Well, hopefully in this episode, we can answer some of those questions. That way we can be on our road to becoming the 2.0 version of ourselves. Even though I feel like discipline is one of my strengths, I'm always looking for new ways to level up, just so I can get better. Last year around October, I started taking cold showers every day. And I did that for about 2 months straight. And then once the wintertime hit, I decided to step it up a notch. I started taking ice baths for 2 minutes, and I did that each and every day for the entire month of December. And on top of that, the tub was outside in my backyard. I'm out there with the snow and everything. And I was fortunate enough to actually film the process. So if you want to check out one of those videos, I'll leave a link in the description below. That sounds kind of crazy though, right? Like, what was I thinking? An ice bath outside in the middle of the winter. So challenging myself to do things outside of my comfort zone, that actually helped me understand myself better. And, it teaches me stuff that I can use in everyday life, being able to understand how discipline works and then applying that to your life. That's all you need to change yourself, whether you want to start hitting the gym or start that project that you've been putting off. Applying the tips in this episode can help you get on the right track and then get you started. So first up, let's dive into habits. Now, no offense, but we are all creatures of habit. And discipline summed up is pretty much automating the things that you do. You don't need any more self-discipline than you already have. If, keyword, if you can, excuse me, you can learn to do this. We all heard the 21-day rule before, right? How it takes 21 days to form a habit. At least that's what I heard growing up. However, multiple studies actually show that it can take anywhere from 18 to 254 days to form a habit. On average, it takes about 66 sick days. Damn, I wish I had 66 sick days talking about at work. But no, on average, it takes about 66 days or a little over 2 months to make a new habit stick. Once you form the habit, then you won't need a lot of discipline to actually stick to it. The habit becomes automatic. It's something that you trained your brain to do, so it'll happen all by itself. That's actually one of the easiest ways to introduce more discipline into your life. So now that we gave a little background about habits, what makes up a habit? So based on my own research, I found out that a habit actually consists of 3 parts, and you have your cue, your action, and then you got the payoff. And then once I kind of figured these out and I started reflecting on my own life, it made a lot more sense. So I'll give a little bit of information about each one. So the cue, let's use a piece of chocolate for example. Now the cue that's like the signal. You know, you ever feel like your favorite dessert was just calling your name or something? I swear that's how it seems sometimes. So the chocolate is actually the cue. Remember, the cue is the signal. And then the second part is the action. Of course, that speaks for itself. The action, you're doing something. And then last, you got the payoff, which is like the prize. So in this example, the cue, which is the signal, that's the chocolate bar. Hey, it signal you. And that signal causes you to do an action. All right, pick up the chocolate bar. And then you have the payoff, which is the prize. And that's the taste of the chocolate. So 3 parts, y'all. Cue, action, and then the payoff. And this can go towards any type of habit that you end up picking up. You know, something cues you to do something, which is the signal, and it triggers an action, and then you get some sort of payoff. So it's pretty simple, actually. When your brain sees the cue, in this case, the chocolate, it makes you do the action in order to get the prize, again, which is the taste of the chocolate. Now, this was something that I actually used to develop some good habits that I had. Now, when I'm at work, listen, when I tell you I get tried the most every day. And what I mean by that is at work, we got a snack box. And when I tell you it's all type of stuff in there, chips, candy, cakes, pies, you name it. We got chocolate, candy, beans, potatoes. All right, I'm doing too much. Let me back up. So we got this box of snacks we have at work, and it's tough, man, seeing those snacks on a day-to-day basis when I'm at work, and like just to walk past it and to dive in that box and go crazy. It's been times, man, like I can go the whole work shift. I'll be like, nope, I'm good. Not getting no snacks. Walk past it again. Nope, I'm good. Not messing with it. I made it all the way to the end of my 8-hour shift. On my way out the door, I walked past that box that one last time. And then I'm like, one won't hurt. And then I grab one. That cue got me that time. So the cue caused me to do the action, which I was thinking about the payoff. Grab me a little Reese cup on the way out. I noticed that just seeing those snacks on the regular, there's been times where I was caught up, just find myself eating the snacks every day. And before I know it, I'm like, oh man, I've been snacking a little bit too much. So what I did was I started bringing fruit to work with my lunch. So when I see the fruit, which is the cue, again, that's the signal, I take the action to eat the fruit, and then I still get a nice payoff, which is the taste of the fruit, a nice juicy peach or something like that. And now when I eat that, I get that same satisfaction that I get from, let's say, grabbing a piece of chocolate. And when I do it this way, it doesn't throw me off my goals, like my fitness goals or stuff like that. So that's a good tip right there, y'all. If you find yourself in these different situations or environments where it's a lot of stuff that's tempting you, bring some stuff to, you want to bring things like healthier options to put into place, so you can gravitate towards that versus, let's say, the chips or stuff like the chips or things like that. And it's not going to be perfect. I still have my days. I did notice when I bring fruit and bring my own stuff to work, it does help me when I'm in those environments, when I'm seeing those snacks every day. So I know I kind of drifted off a little bit, but the main thing we was talking about a habit and what makes up a habit. So now that we are talking about habits, let's see what we got here. So check this out. I know we're talking about habits, but there's an easier way. You don't have to build them one by one. And that was one of the mistakes I made in the beginning, just I had this list of habits that I wanted to do. I'm like, all right, I want to eat better. I want to cut this out of my diet. I want to eat more fruit. I want to eat more whole foods. I want to work out more. I want to read more. The list goes on. The list goes on. But there's something called keystone habits. It's basically what it is basically, no, there's a few habits that you can pick up and they come with a bunch of other habits naturally. Think about it like a package that comes with a bunch of accessories. And just a few main keystone habits that you can pick up are the gym, reading, meditating. I actually did an episode about these three things, and I went a little more in depth about it. If you wanna check those out, I can put the link in the description for that episode as well. But just going back to these keystone habits, I want you to think of it like this. Instead of saying, all right, I'm about to just completely change my diet, I'm about to start waking up early, I'm about to, what else can I say? I'm about to just start reading all these books. Now, I get it. When you come across something new, we get excited and we want to do all of these different things. But the truth of the matter is it takes time to build all of those habits. It does take time, and it can get overwhelming trying to do everything all at once. When you're not seeing those results and you feel like you haven't built the habits of each one, then it can get discouraging. And the next thing you know, you start telling yourself, like, I can't do this or I can't do that. But long story short, instead of trying to focus on all of those habits, focus just on the gym. Like literally just focus on the gym. The gym comes with so many different habits that you're going to gain naturally. So just for example, like if you just solely focus on the gym, nothing else, you start working out, boom, boom, boom. You're going to notice you're going to start to feel better mentally. And even after you working out for a while, you're like, man, all right, I'm working out. I'm seeing a little bit of results, but I might want to get a little bit more results. Let me start eating a little more healthy. So now you start to build the habit of eating a little bit more healthy. That's another habit that's naturally comes with just working out. And then after that, you're like, you know what? I might want to start drinking more water. And then you start drinking more water. So you've already picked up other habits just from going to the gym. So again, that's something to keep at the forefront. Keystone habits. You can grab one habit and it comes with a bunch of other habits as a byproduct. Now we're going to move into our last point, which is what's your why? Believe it or not, the why is just as important as the habit itself. You ask yourself, like, am I doing this because somebody else doing it or because somebody else wants me to do it? Now, I'm not saying it's impossible, but if you don't have a strong why, it's kind of hard to stick to the plan when things get tough. If it's not something that you deep down really want to do. I'm going to use the gym, for example, and I'm I'm gonna talk about some of my whys or my why for going to the gym. Now, it actually started out about the physical for me because I've been a skinny guy my whole life, and I would see dudes that had muscles and buff, and I'm like, man, I want that. I want to get swole. I want to get bigger. I had a little bird chest, and that's what started me out in the gym. And when I wasn't seeing results right away, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, bro, why am I even doing this? What's the point? Like, I've been doing push-ups, I've been trying to eat, I'm hitting the weights, I'm not really getting bigger. So that discouraged me. My first attempt at the gym, I think I gave up after about 2 months. So my why was actually not strong enough. So when the days got tough, or when I didn't feel like doing it, I was just like, whatever, it ain't working anyway. Now, fast forward, I had to start thinking about a deeper why. And I got people would always tell me, now I got two sons. Jason, JJ. Shout out to my boys, man. Shout out to my boys. Now they getting to that age, and they got hype for me because I'm pretty tall. And, based on what the pediatrician said back in the day, they like, yeah, your boy's one's gonna be 6'5", one's gonna be 6'4". I'm 6'3". So I'm already thinking like, all right, they're gonna be taller than me, and they might get to that age where they might want to try me. My oldest son already be looking at me sideways. No, I'm kidding. But no, they might get to that age where they want to try me. So listen, I am not getting caught slipping. I'm not going to be one of those dads that get beat up by their sons, and now I can't even walk through my own house without getting disrespected. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's not the reason why. That's not the reason why I kept to the gym. Laughing but serious. No, seriously, one of my main reasons was so that I can live longer and actually be healthy while living longer. Growing up, I would always hear like the old heads say, hey man, getting old sucks. I even still hear that today. Like, people tell me like getting old sucks. Everything hurts when you get old. Now, I am not disregarding the way that they feel. I'm not negating that. I'm not in denial that your body does go through changes and you're going to actually be hurting, or things hurt once you get older. But I had to think about it and ask myself, like, what kind of lifestyle were these people that was giving me this advice? What kind of lifestyles were they living? It was people in their 60s, 70s. And I started to believe that. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, I don't want to get old. But once I started going to the gym, listen, I see people in the gym that are 60, 70 that are like shredded. There was a dude, he was 68, he told me. This man was doing upside down pull-ups on the pull-up bar. I was like, yo, that's insane. But and then he was ripped and shredded. So the point that I'm making is he had a different lifestyle. And this dude was getting around better than I was at 68. So that just lets me know, it gives me something to look forward to. So it's not necessarily that getting old sucks. It's about the type of lifestyle that you create for yourself. This guy was 68 and he can probably run circles around most 20-year-olds. So that was that helped me create one of my strongest whys for even going to the gym. Cause I'm like, yo, it's possible that I can still feel great at 70 years old, and I can live long and be there for my family and my friends and things like that. So that's one of my strongest whys as to why I go to the gym and I'm into fitness and stuff. So remember your why, or ask yourself, challenge yourself. What is my why? What's the reason why I'm really doing this? And make it a strong why. So when the things get tough, you can actually push through and keep to the stay the course. Now, for all of my people that's still here after all my rambling on, I first want to say I appreciate you. I didn't plan on ramble this long. I actually had a couple points that I wanted to hit, but once I started talking, it just kept flowing. So I first want to say thank y'all for sticking around for my little rant that I went on. But I did promise y'all a bonus tip, and I am a man of my word. So here's the bonus tip. Now, earlier we talked about habits. We started off talking about habits and how important they are for discipline. And this what am I talking about? And this bonus tip is gonna piggyback off of that concept. And it's called habit stacking. Habit stacking, like you stack something. And once you build a certain habit, then you can attach a new habit to that habit, which will make it easier to keep up with instead of starting a brand new habit all by itself. Now, that was a lot to say. So for those who are confused, that did come off a little bit confusing. So I'm going to break it down just a little bit more. Habit stacking uses existing brain power. So if you already have a habit, you can attach a new habit to something that you already have instead of building a new habit all by itself. And I actually got a formula. It's a very simple formula. I'm going to give y'all the formula, and then I'll give y'all a couple of example combinations of habit stacking. So here's the formula. And if you got your phone out or wherever you're listening, paper, pen, and pad, write this down. Every time I do X, which is your current habit. This is your current habit. X stands for the current habit. Every time I do X, that's the first part of the formula, I will do Y. Now, Y stands for the new habit that you want to add. And I'm gonna give y'all a couple of examples of a few habits that I stacked. Every time I shower, I will end the shower with a cold shower. The cold shower was the shower was the current habit because I shower every day. And then the cold shower was the new habit that I was trying to add in, or the new habit that I wanted to develop. So every time I'm in the shower, when I get to the end of my shower, I turn the shower on all cold water. So I stack those together. And it's a lot easier because I'm already in the shower. So I just, at the end of the shower, I turn it to cold water. That's one example of stacking a habit. It was so much easier to develop the habit of cold shower just because I attached to something that I was already doing. Another one was sauna. So when I go to the gym, this is actually like a triple stack because sauna was a habit that I wanted to pick up. So now every time I go work out, first habit, I go to the sauna before I get into my workout, which helps me loosen up my joints and all of that other stuff. Maybe we'll do an episode later on about the benefits of the sauna. But just to stay on subject, I go to the gym, habit 1. Before I work out, I get into the sauna, habit 2. Now, I'm heavy into meditation. So I decided to meditate while I was in the sauna. I'm already sitting in the sauna anyway. So I meditate while I'm in there. It's kind of like killing two birds with one stone. That's actually a great way to look at it. You're killing two birds with one stone. We're not actually killing birds. We love the animals, but you get the point that I'm trying to make. You're killing two birds with one stone. When I go to the sauna, while I'm in the sauna, I meditate. That's 2 habits that I knock out right there. I was already doing the sauna, so I attach meditation to that so that I can do both of them at the same time. So that is the example of the formula and how you can stack habits. And I got a couple combos that y'all can try. These are simple and you can give them a try and then see how they work out for you. So another one that I do as well, and you can try this out. So when you get out of bed, make your bed. Like you're already getting up out of the bed, attach you making your bed to you getting out of bed when you wake up. So every time you get up, that'll cue. Remember that we talked about the 3 parts of a habit, right? Cue, action, prize. So when you get up out of bed, that cues you to make your bed. And then your prize is your room looks better. It's less clutter. And it sets you up for a nice sleep routine later on in the day. So that's one. Get out of bed and make your bed. The next one is get dressed. When you're getting dressed for the day, lay out some workout clothes. We're building these healthy habits. We want to hit the gym more. So I'm telling you, this is so powerful. When you getting dressed for the day, you've already putting your clothes, you're already in that mode of setting up clothes or whatever your routine is. Take a couple extra minutes, pull out some shorts, pants, and whatever you work out in, whatever your forte is, lay out your workout clothes at the same time. Now, getting dressed is something that you are already doing. And then laying out your workout clothes is just going to make it a lot easier. That's a habit that you're setting yourself up for success. So now when it's time to work out, your clothes are already out. We'll talk about it again. Cue, action, payoff. The cue is once you're getting dressed, your cue is to lay out your workout clothes. That's the action. And the payoff is your clothes are all ready to go once it's time to go hit the gym. And then the last one is while you're driving, throw an audiobook on. You're already driving, right? And if one of your habits is you want to read more or something like that, you don't have time to sit down and read, listen to an audiobook. You can go ahead and throw that on. And again, you're already driving. So this is something that you're stacking, makes it a lot easier. And I actually got this concept, the habit stacking concept. It came from a book called Atomic Habits. Some of y'all may or may not have heard about it, but it's by an author named James Clear. And if you haven't already checked this book out, I highly recommend it. It goes super in depth about habits and real technical on the habit level. So if you haven't already checked that out, I do highly recommend you check out that book. And I'm going to leave a link to the physical book in the description. Or if you like me and you want to make life easier by habit stacking, something that we learned today, pat yourself on the back. We learned some things today. If you want to make life easier by habit stacking, check out the audiobook. I'll drop the link to that in the description as well. So try out habit stacking. It is a legit game changer. So just a quick recap. I know this episode running a little bit longer than I expected, but it's all right. We got a lot of game in this episode. We got a lot of things that we're going to try so that we can become more disciplined. So first up, discipline is all about automating the things that you do. We got to remember that first off, AKA your habits. And most of your discipline is only needed in the beginning. Once the habits are set, it's a lot easier to maintain. Number two, the most useful kind of habits are the ones that are based on keys. We talked about that keystone habits. Going to the gym, focusing on the gym will come with a lot of other habits naturally. It's like a domino effect. Once you start going to the gym, you'll start eating healthier. It's a whole domino effect. So do not sleep on that. You do not have to have all of these habits in the beginning. Pick something major like going to the gym. Again, it's like a package that comes with a bunch of accessories. And number three, what is your why? Your why is going to help you push through when the times get tough. Again, y'all, I told you, I imagine getting beat up by my sons and I'm like, nope, I got to lift more weights. No, but make sure you do have a strong why. That's going to keep you going. Now for the next episode, this is something that kind of bothered me for a very long time. And especially once I started on my personal development journey, it's like it magnified. You can be all the positive in the world. I'm telling you, I had some days where I was just vibrating high. I'm feeling good. I'm like, yo, it's 2.0 Jamar. And then I just come across a negative person and they just flip my whole mood. You ever feel like you just having the best day ever and then you just come in contact with somebody that's just negative and they just shift your energy? Well, if that's you and you looking for some ways how to navigate better in those situations, you do not want to miss the next episode. We are going to dive into how to deal with negative people. Thank you for joining us on the Personal Development Blueprint. We appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you picked up a nugget or two to supercharge your personal growth. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. We would love to hear some of your feedback. And remember, every little win counts on the road to becoming the best version of yourself. So stay focused, keep pushing forward, and you will keep leveling up. Key.